Segment 4 are the next steps. First is a list of things to do before applying. This is a list we strongly suggest you follow. It's also available on the BRE-SPAD website. And we suggest you go in this order, if possible, for most of you. First is determining your organizational eligibility. Certainly, if your organization is not eligible, you should not apply. Our eligibility for BRE-SPAD is very specific. It's for resource-limited institutions, but this is defined very specifically in our NOFO, and this definition only applies thus far to BRE-SPAD. Because it's very specific, we have guidance on our webpage to help you figure out whether your organization is eligible. Of course, you want to read the complete NOFO or Notice of Funding Opportunity, including any related notices that are in the front part of the NOFO. They could be published after the NOFO is published, so it's important to keep track of those. Another thing you can do is look on the BRE-SPAD webpage to review the funding priorities of some of the participating NIH institutes, centers, or offices. However, a BRE-SPAD program may focus on developing biomedical research across the broad range of areas that fit in the NIH mission. So you do not have to align with any funding priority from an institute, but you may be interested in doing that. Please check out these interests on our webpage. We strongly suggest everyone who's interested send us a one-page summary of some information that I'll show you. Again, it's also on the website. And for this, we'll just give you preliminary non-binding feedback on the proposed program's fit. This doesn't mean we're speaking to whether we quote like or dislike or how excited we feel. This is not a review or any proxy of how well this application would review or whether it would be highly competitive. But we are looking for potential alignment, misalignment with the funding opportunity, in particular, the funding priorities. Another thing you would do for any NIH application is read the application guide instructions, the SF 424. Again, BRE-SPAD uses the research instruction set. And certainly, as I've shown you earlier in this video, review the required and suggested application page links for key application components, which is posted on our website in this section called Things to Do Before Applying. That one-page summary I mentioned, there is some specific information we'd like for you to include. One is the applicant organization, if you have any participating organizations, and if you have any partners, just list all of those. State the 2 or 3 developmental funding areas that will be proposed in the application. Describe briefly the need for proposed programming, and then include the primary goals and activities that you believe you'll propose for these plans, how these plans will advance overall biomedical research capacity at realistic rates that is tailored to the participating organizations. Once you have this one-page summary, you can email it to the program's email address, nigms.spad@nigms.nih.gov. Another next step is to check out the other videos in this series if you have not already. There is a program overview video, which talks more broadly about the program. It also includes some application submission information. And as I've mentioned, there's a video on how the pilot research project funding works. This is a short video that we have in order to explain the way that the pilot research project funding operates differently than the other 2 funding areas. That concludes this video. I thank you for watching. And of course, if you have any questions that you don't see answered on our website, please feel free to reach out at the email address for the program. Thank you and best of luck.